Okay, so now we are back. Last episode, we got all of our new editor C++ classes hooked up into, blueprints created, all that stuff staged up, and we messed around with our camera views, got all of our camera movement and stuff functioning correctly. So now what we want to focus on is getting the um, uh, man, brain just doesn't work. Um, we want to work on getting the cell selection correct, uh, so that we can properly select and edit cells. So the initial thing that it implemented was based off of the camera cursor, like a clicking on objects. So using ray casting and all that, and it's just kind of not really working. Like when I'm in here, it's like, okay, that's selected, right? That's 0, 1 says, but see now it's suddenly not, but now I can't click anything. It's really finicky on what's what. Um, so I mean, maybe we go ahead and try uh um and have Claude kind of play around with it and see if that's working better. See if we can get it to work better. But I'm wondering if it's maybe we set WASD to be camera movement only when like right mouse button, and then WASD is moving our selected cells around. Um, Something like that. I don't know. But let's give Claude, I guess, a chance to maybe um, fix that cell selection. Okay. So in our editor files, we have set up the ability to hover and select cells in the map with this isn't working well or consistently. It is often difficult to get it to highlight a cell to be able to select it. Often just moving the camera will cause a cell to not be selected. You look through the code related to that and see if you can make it work better, or perhaps there is a way to cell slash selection. Okay. Let's see what it has to say. Okay, several problems with the current cell highlighting selection system. Raycasting accuracy. Why are you putting a file here? Let's see. Function uses a simple line trace that might not consistently hit the floor geometry, especially when looking at cells from different angles. Grid coordinate calculation. The coordinate calculation assumes the grid starts at world origin but doesn't account for map manager's actual world position. Performance, the component ticks every frame to update hover, which can be inefficient. Inconsistent hint detection. The ray trace relies on hitting actual geometry, which can be unreliable when looking between meshes or at different angles. Yeah, and when there's not any geometry there yet. Okay, I don't know why it's not just writing these files directly. So this might be, I might need to give it clearer instructions in the project to be like, yo, you know, you can just, you know, always just edit the files directly. But we'll let it go ahead and finish what it's doing here, so then at least it has that context. Oh, so it wrote it and now it's going to actually do the implementation. Okay, not exactly sure why it bothered to go through all of that, but okay. If that's what it wants to do, I guess. It's continue. Ooh. Mouse handling. All right. It'll be interesting to see if this actually makes it work better. I mean, I'm not looking for any, you know, a super smooth, professional, you know, experience at this point. Janky is fine as long as it, you know, serves the purpose. You know, as we move further along on this, we can, you know, easily make things more smoother, you know, better performing, make a better user experience out of it. Okay, so now let's see if things highlight better. First let's see if we even compile. It looked like it had some big changes to some of the things, so I'm expecting. Okay, so, all right, we compiled, but 2 warnings. What are our warnings? Input key. This version of input key has been deprecated. Please use the version that takes f input key params, and input access has been deprecated. Okay, yeah, let's go ahead and have it fix those because really going to be difficult with me about that. Fine. Because I would really rather have it not be using deprecated stuff that I'm not going to even remember why it wasn't working. You update these 2 calls that are using updated methods. Okay. Okay. All right. So now let's go ahead and give it another build. Now we've got a bunch of errors. Of course. It's fine. Claude, fix your friggin' issues, dude. If input key param struct is forward declared but not fully defined, let me revert to a simpler approach that should work with 5.5 rather than using the new API that seems to have incomplete includes. Implement a different approach that avoids the deprecated methods altogether. Now let me replace the problematic key input implementation with a simpler approach that uses input bindings instead. Okay. Okay. So he says he's fixed it. But let's see. All right, successfully done. All right, let's see. Oh, hey. That actually looks like it might have actually done something. Okay, movement still seems good. Yes. Okay. Except selecting doesn't seem to be working. Highlighting's working. Highlighting is working much, much better. Okay. But selection doesn't appear to be working at all. Okay. Highlighting of cells looks to be working wonderfully, but selection doesn't do anything. Left mouse click appears to not be doing anything, and no cell gets marked as the selected cell. Select cell under cursor method is doing. Oh. No. Why are you wet, dog? Why are you wet? Is it raining? A wet dog on my lap. No. Shh. No. Off. Go on. No, go play. No, go play. All right, so gonna add some debugging. See if the mouse button is being pressed. Event handler. Logic looks correct. Left mouse button input mapping doesn't exist in your project's input settings. It does. You don't have a left mouse button action mapping defined in your project's input settings, except I do. But okay, let's see. So modify the approach to use a more direct method that doesn't rely on input mappings that might not exist. Direct mouse input override. And then it decides to not do that. Do this instead. Okay. I don't think that checking for mouse clicks directly in the tick function is the right thing to do. I don't think that that's what we want to do. But okay. We'll give it a shot for now and see if it actually does something. All right, let's see if we build. We do. All right. And let's see what happens. Okay. So we're highlighting cells. Awesome. I click. Hey, the cells selected, but now are highlighted. It doesn't stay there. It's moving with our mouse button. It's not what we want. So now if I do Control W, I should put a north wall. Right? No. But we're just, that's still just moving us. Selected cell at 1, 1, selected cell at 1, 0, selected cell at 2, 0. And then if I toggle north wall cell at 2, 0. And south wall. South wall. Okay. Okay, so it's a little janky with the selection, but it is functioning. All right, because we can see we selected the cell at coordinate 2, 0. We're marked as having unsaved changes. When I clicked one of the buttons, we got the update cell visual for the correct one. We toggled the north wall for the correct cell. So all of that based on the debug is working, but we're obviously not seeing any wall get added there. But we also kind of, you know, it's just kind of dark. But yeah, no, we can see that there's no wall there. There's no walls there. Okay. So we'll call that good. Cell selection is essentially working. A little janky, but that's fine. And so next episode, we'll get this northeast, southwest, floor, ceiling stuff. Start getting all of that so that the things actually show up. All right. So yeah, thanks for stopping by. Hit the like button, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you're liking, what you don't like. Let me know what you're thinking about Claude 4. Yeah, and so next episode, we'll get geometry start showing up. And then we're getting really close to actually having a functional editor. All right, thanks.